Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
There is a way to limit the amount of time you spend creating content for social media. And your initial spend doesn't have to be much per month either, giving you time to dip your toe in the water and refine your strategy. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Remember when posting meant putting something in a letterbox? Those were the days. Now, our publicity campaigns involve all sorts of choices about platforms, content, blogs, vlogs, cross-promotion messaging, and a whole new dictionary of words to encompass the big, wide social media world. But where to start? And what are we supposed to be posting anyway? Social media specialist Leanne Peard has some valuable tips on getting value for money from the effort you put into your social media activities. And the first tip, she tells Heather Dawson, is to be clear on strategy. But what's the starting point there?
Strategy-wise, we need to identify is our target market audience on the actual platform. So each social media platform has its own audience. Facebook is different from Instagram and different from YouTube, so that would be the first key. And then the next point would be what type of content am I posting to that platform, because the difference in the demographic, which means the difference in the audience and how they digest that content.
Okay, so if we talk about audience, first of all, I imagine Facebook and Instagram, well, they're slightly older than the TikTok generation.
Interesting point. Actually, no. So Instagram has a demographic of 18 to 35-year-olds. Facebook is basically everybody from 18 to 65. And TikTok was essentially the young people, say 13 to 18. However, the baby boomers are actually in the middle of overtaking TikTok.
Of course, some people might want to reach everybody. Is that not a good strategy?
Every business owner would love to be able to service every client, and that is true in the bricks and mortar world. But on the social media marketing, the problem is actually standing out from the crowd or standing out from the noise. So we need to really be specific with the message that we're trying to achieve with our business on that platform.
Do you think most people need a bit of expert advice about all this?
Oh, absolutely. Even if it's only, a few hours just to get them straight so that they can implement their strategy. I find that many businesses are actually posting for the sake of posting and they're not understanding why they're not getting leads or sales.
Okay. All right. So you've worked out your demographic. You've worked out which platform you're going to use. Then you've got to decide what you're going to put on that platform. So what's the first step there?
Well, video is the key to content creation now and has been for a few years because people enjoy watching a video rather than reading a post. So the strategy should include video regardless of what platform. But Instagram, as we know, is very pretty and picturesque. So the strategy there would be beautiful, vibrant images, whereas Facebook is more live video and video posts, and images still work well, but they're not as effective on that platform as they are on Instagram. And even if we were using TikTok as an example, TikTok is more fun, entertaining, not so serious content.
Perhaps you need to spend a bit of time on each of those platforms just to see what other people are doing before you start to make up your mind about what you should do.
Yes, that is a good strategy. It is to have a look at what others are doing. However, I always, and I've been saying this for years, that it's really important for your business and your brand to have its own real, authentic place and not be generic. And what I mean by that is to allow your own personality, your own business culture to come through.
And perhaps ahead of all this is you've got to think about how much money you're prepared to spend on content posting on whichever platform you choose for your demographic. So what do you do? Do you put aside, what do you reckon, 15,000, 20,000, something like that? Is that too much?
So for the small to medium business owner, they need to have a budget, especially if they're using Facebook as their main platform. So I would say 15,000 for a small business owner would be possibly a little bit too much for them to resource or to take out a cash flow. I always suggest that you should start with, even if it's $50 to $100 per month, and once you know that your ad strategy is working effectively and you're generating leads and sales and returns on your investment, then you can always increase that. There's no point going in with a $2,000 a month ad spend and not getting the return on your investment.
Toe in the water sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about content creation then. What do we need to think about?
We need to think about time, because social media becomes very time consuming when you start creating your own content and then using different content for different platforms. My suggestion, and this is my golden key, I suppose, is that we should be using video and then repurposing that video across multiple platforms. And what I mean by that is having a video and turning the video transcript into a blog post, and then that can be long form content on any platform. We can also take the audio off that video and use that as our own podcast or audio content. From the video, we always share words of wisdom as business owners, so we could take our words of wisdom from the transcript and actually use that as our own, in inverted commas, quotes. And if you were to do that, you shouldn't be spending hours on end every week. You should only be spending maybe 3 to 5 hours a week and having all content created and posted across platforms.
Is consistency important?
Absolutely, yes. Most business owners do social media for a little while and then they say they don't get any return. However, it takes a while for you to build the know, like, and trust factor with your audience. So yes, consistency is the key as well.
The best ways to get traffic?
Traffic, well, there's either organic or paid. So depending on your budget, will depend on how quick you'll get traffic through paid traffic. Organic traffic nearly doesn't exist anymore on Facebook. However, if you do have a strong strategy for posting and interacting with other social media platforms and cross-promoting, then organic traffic is still achievable, especially through live video on Facebook. It'll take a bit longer though.
There's quite a lot to learn, isn't there?
There is a lot, and we all need to be continually updating our skills and our knowledge on social media.
And then, Leanne, what about video marketing? What can you tell us?
Like I explained, video marketing should be the key of your content today, because 85% of all video marketing or videos is the source of traffic from Google and YouTube. So it's really, really effective to have your business found on the front page of Google and or YouTube. So video marketing should definitely be part of your strategy and possibly the number one source of your content creation. And then added to that, you should really be having some sort of live show on your Facebook and or YouTube channels so that you can actually create your own expert, create your branding, and really claim your business status amongst these two platforms.
How important do you think it is to get really professionally made videos? Depending on your brand, I guess, but some brands would put an emphasis on that, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely. And I even know small, medium businesses who won't do video because it's not perfect. The key here again is having the authenticity. And as a consumer or as a person on a social media platform, they're there to be social. They're not looking for the pristine video quality that we would see on a TV advertisement. So the business owner really, yes, it's important, but if you were just doing Facebook Live show, then the consumer is looking for the quirky, real, authentic, possibly a mistake or two in that show.
How often would you advise business people to refresh their messages?
So ideally, if you were using video marketing and YouTube, then we would hope that you're actually pushing new content out weekly and looking at different keywords. Yes, it would be great to have a professional video completed and recorded and have that on your website or some static place where that video will show people what you do. But as far as video marketing, we would want to see somebody having a new video every week with different keywords to help you be found on the front page of Google.
Oh, that is quite an investment in time to keep coming up with that, isn't it?
Oh, not really. I like to use the Seinfeld method, whereas what has ever happened to you today, use that to actually create and segue into your business. And I'm sure we all have stories of what we do every day that we could use.
I guess the more we do it, the better we get at it anyway.
That's for sure.
Now, you say that YouTube is essential for video marketing. Why is that?
YouTube is owned by Google, and as we know, over 85% of people will actually use Google to search for a business, either nationally or locally. So having a video on YouTube with the keywords, and keywords would be coffee shop Cairns or coffee shop Melbourne, and having a video about your business will have your video found on the front page of Google, which gives you more opportunity to have leads and sales and people in your store.
Now, Leanne, therefore, summing up, what's your key message to small to medium-sized businesses who are trying to get their social media correct?
So my key message would be, do not fear the camera and embrace video marketing, because that will be your new best friend, and have a consistent strategy in place that you are creating fresh content every week. And don't give up.
That was social media specialist and trainer, Leanne Peard. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.